In cities across the country, crowds have been marching in protest all weekend long in anticipation of today's DACA announcement. They continued today with masses marching towards Trump Tower in New York and marches in L.A. and beyond. About 8,000 people are currently living under DACA protection in Massachusetts. Among them, Deanna Ortiz, who came to the U.S. from Mexico when she was 6. Nice to meet you, Deanna.
Nice
and Victor Santos, who arrived at the age of 12 from Brazil. Victor, good to see you, too.
How's it going?
I know you knew this was coming today at 11 o'clock, but when you actually heard Jeff Sessions say the words, what did it feel like to you?
I mean, it felt like our life has once again been plagued by insecurity, and right now we're kind of like at ground zero, having to rethink what's going to happen in the future and kind of gathering and organizing each other and showing support.
What did it feel like to you this morning, Victor?
Yeah, it feels extreme uncertainty. I run a company here in Boston and have employees.
You can say the name, by the way.
The company?
Yeah,
Air
sure.
Fox, yeah, so we're a venture-backed company here in creating jobs. I have 2 H-1B visas under my payroll, but I'm the CEO of the company and in this purgatory of immigration.
But weren't you both sort of in a different kind of purgatory under DACA? There's a misconception that this was a path to citizenship.
Right.
It was essentially a temporary deferment. President Obama acknowledged that, where you could get a license and you could defer deportation, but it was not a cure. So there was uncertainty there too, wasn't there?
Well, we knew it was temporary the whole time. Even when we applied, we knew it was temporary. We didn't expect it to be long-term, but we were surely hoping to have something in set. We were hoping to pass the dream out before this could be resigned.
How did DACA change your life? What did it do for you that you couldn't do before?
First of all, I got a job on campus. I was able to make money that I couldn't make, and I was able to get my driver's license. At age 21, I applied for my driver's license. First time, got behind the wheel.
What did that feel like?
It felt great. No longer afraid to get stopped by the police and get my car towed. So it was definitely a relief. I got my ID and could travel to Massachusetts, where I went to Harvard for grad school, and so I could travel without the fear of being deported.
What did it do for you?
I was able to get a job at Google right after graduating.
You were at Berkeley, is that where you were in school?
Yes, I went to UC Berkeley, yeah.
By the way, when you said you were an employer before, are you not in the odd situation? Could you not sponsor one of your own employees for legal permanent residency, even though you're at risk of deportation with a rescission?
That's correct, yeah.
I mean, do you appreciate the sick irony?
It's ridiculous, yeah.
I want to show you a poll, which I hope will make you feel a little decent. This is the most recent one we could find in January of this year, a Pew Research poll. Percentage who would think we should allow those who came to the U.S. illegally as kids to remain here, 72%. But do you ever say to yourself, do I want to be in a country where the elected leader of the country may not want me here? What kind of message does that send you?
Yeah, I think for the first time, I think there's national awareness of the DACA and the Dreamers. I think, for over 9 years, they've been trying to pass this on Congress, and it hasn't happened. DACA was sort of this temporary solution. But, I talk to friends of mine that are American, and they don't understand the immigration system to be able to really get behind it, even though they see and would support it if they knew all the things that, that it does to us, and really how unfair it could be. So I think awareness is the first step, but the first thing we want to do is create that awareness and make sure that people elect the officials that would then create change that would sustain this.
Deanna, you're nodding in agreement, but to cause the rest of us to get focused on this, like Victor said, you have to put yourselves at risk. You have to live through 11 o'clock today for the rest of us to get, I mean, that's pretty perverse, is it not?
Yeah.
Are you worried about deportation? I mean, no one knows if Congress is going to act. I wouldn't bet on it. And if 6 months passes and they haven't acted, it's possible you'd be sent back.
Absolutely, and we've known that, especially those of us who are very outspoken, that we are undocumented and we're unafraid. We've known that there's always that risk, but we're willing to do it for the sake of our community.
Are you unafraid?
I am unafraid.
Are you unafraid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did your parents, how did you end up here?
In the United States?
Yeah, in the U.S. Yeah, I don't mean here.
Well, my mom, who's a single mom, decided to be decided to dream and to finally move to the United States so that she could give us a better childhood than the one she had, one full of opportunity. And so coming here very young, 6 years old, I started first grade here. I've never gone to Mexican public schools. I've K to 12, bachelor's, master's. My entire education has been here. And navigating it undocumented has definitely had its share of bumps in the road, but it has made me resilient and a survivor and someone who doesn't give up very easily.
What are you doing now?
Right now, I just graduated with my Master of Divinity from Harvard Divinity School, and I will be starting a new job at Harvard College as an administrative fellow in September 11th.
That's fabulous. And how did you end up here from Brazil?
My dad came with an L1 visa, so he had a small business, came legally, employed 10 workers. His green card got denied, and we weren't able to. We lost our status, essentially.
You know, I want to get back to something you said a minute ago about people's sort of sensitivity to this changing before. Barack Obama, I can't quote him, I don't have it in front of me, but it was so beautiful when he announced this in 2012 and basically said, that kid, your kid sitting next to Victor or Deanna, has had the exact same experience here,
Yes.
in the classroom, dating, I mean, all these kinds of things. And what he was attempting to prevent is being sent back to a country where, one, you may know nobody, as he said in the statement today. A lot of dreamers don't speak the language of the country from which they came. But before today, did your friends get it? I mean, who are American citizens, did they get it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do you resent that?
I don't. I mean, I think that should come from, the government, and I think the government should create more awareness and better objective programs for immigration, because right now it's super subjective. In Europe, you have a scorecard. If you meet certain criterias, then you get what you're supposed to. And now my parents' green card got denied. There was no reason why it got denied.
Are you? I don't mean to. Are you really as unafraid as you both say you are, or is that what you think you should say to put up a strong front? Well, you're not worried about what happens to you potentially if this do-nothing Congress does nothing?
Well, for a long time, I was worried, but DACA definitely gave me a sense of security, so at least for the next 2 years, we're protected from deportation. Once that expires, anything could go up. Yeah.
Last 15 seconds is yours.
I mean, I'm more concerned about the future of, how can I run my company from here? I would have to move, and actually bring innovation somewhere else. And that, that could be something that, because we're a tech company, we could move this outside of the U.S. So it's one of those things where, by not allowing us to stay here, they're hindering growth and innovation.
I hope that changes, and I hope you stay. You're both incredible, and I really am
Thank you for having
honored
us.
to meet you both.
Thank you.
Victor, thank you so much. Best of luck to both of you.